whip.
"Yeah, but he was wearing a dress, and I'm the one that's got the pants on."
Her father laughed and held his head. Janine was so relieved that her own laughter had a frantic sound and tears came to her eyes. The driller thought it was funny as well, and he repeated it to the crew several times over, and even after a week the driller could be heard to say, "Don't mess with me, boys. I'm the one that's got the pants on." They started home. They lived in half of a rent house in Ranger, where they had moved as soon as there was word of an oil strike. Before that, they seemed to have lived on the old Tolliver farm, but Janine was too young to remember it. Her father's strong hands were scarred. They had been knocked around by everything, by engine cranks and coffin hoists and the wagon jack. His cloth cap barely shaded his bloodshot eyes. All round them the horizon shifted from one red stone layer to another, and down these slopes spilled live oak and Spanish oak and mesquite, wild grape and persimmon. Alongside the road were things people threw out of cars and wagons. A baby doll head lay under a dense black brush and seemed to watch as the hooves of the team went past. There were tin cans and mottled rags and lard pails and tiny squares of broken safety glass. He reached under the seat and took out his bottle. "If I have a drink now, she'll never know by the time we get home." He took a quick drink and then handed the bottle to her. "Hide that for me." Janine kneeled down and found the feed bags under the seat and stuffed the bottle in one of them and sat back on the seat again. She leaned against him. During the tormented shouting of the night before, Janine and her sister knew these were noises of pain. Their parents needed comfort.
"I love you," she said.
"You'll be mad at me too someday, Jenny," he said, "before the world is done with me."
"But how come you threw the album out the front door?"
"Because the sewing machine was too heavy." The photographs of herself and her sister Mamie tumbled down the steps like playing cards, like the doll head, discarded. Her mother and father's wedding portraits spun into the dirt. Janine and her sister Mamie picked them all up and carefully pasted them back into the album. Before long, her mother and father would kiss each other. After that, her father would be paid, and they would buy a case of lithiated lemon soda and a radio and a racehorse.
"We're going to have a racehorse one of these days," said Janine. "He'll look like Big Man."
"Oh, baby, baby, baby. These here are draft horses. We want something little and fast and wound up like an 8-day clock." Janine stood up in the seat.
"I want to ride on Big Man."
She had made him laugh. All was well. She would now ride in triumph into the wagon yard. "No, you'll fall off. When those big hooves get done stepping on you, you'll look like that doll's head back there."
"I don't care."
All right, all right. This is so you don't tell."
"About what?"
"My whiskey."
"I never seen any whiskey."
He threw her up on the near leader named Big Man, and she held on to the collar knobs. She waved at cars passing by in the sovereign confidence that she was beautiful and special and her father's darling, the child of a unique destiny. She had a new pair of homemade overalls and a new short haircut. Her hair was an icy blonde that would soon darken, but for now, all the arguing and the torment was over, and the day was full of light. The high dray wheels of good fortune sang on, revolving behind her, and her father slapped the Y lines on the horses' backs and said she was a pistol. In 1918, the year Janine was born, the oil strikes in north-central Texas, at Ranger and Tarrant and Cisco, were places of astonishing chaos. The towns became hives of workers and freighters with 4-horse teams, and drugstores, and ranked lines of Model A's at the curbs, and gamblers and prostitutes and the wretched of the earth, and leasehounds with dubious paper. Homemade alcoholic drinks were sold at the back doors of the drugstores. Crude oil sprang up out of the earth in fields that